Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent, y'all. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent, y'all. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent, y'all. Another brother.
We must fight back on the murder and violence that's been plaguing our communities. I hope through this real-life story of how murder has affected the lives of this family, through their hurt, sorrow, and pain, they're yet servants and showing us through their service their love and their community outreach. So let us look back and let this family tell you about their loved one, Tommy Lee Jenkins.
I'm Beverly Jenkins Simmons. We're at the house where my son was murdered, a drive-by shooting on March the 12th, 2011. My son was here at a gathering with his friends and they were having a cookout and someone drove by. If you look forward here, it looks like the bullet hole that was left here on the garage door was up. And from my understanding that the bullet went through the wall and hit my son in the head, and in return, my son is gone today as a result of this. But at the same time, I was told that it was a white car that drove by. The person that did this, they are forgiven on my behalf because I would not have the love of God in me if I didn't forgive you. Also, I'm thankful to my son's friends and I'm thankful to family because I asked them on that night, please, let's don't do violent things because of violent things that happen and because of this that happened to my son. And I'm blessed to say that no one has went for revenge because the scripture tells us that revenge is God. And I'm so thankful because tragedy could have happened behind what happened with my son on that night. And they followed through my request was not to go looking, not to go searching, but to let the sheriff department search and find what happened to my son and who did this. Again, I must say, that person is forgiven on my behalf because that's the love that I have in my heart for people and for others. And that's the same type of love that I would like others to remember. If you hold on to the hurt and pain and not move forward, yes, you're gonna cry, yes, it's gonna hurt, but you just can't stand still. Do something positive. Find whatever things you like to do. Get involved with whatever your talent is, whether it might be helping in the community, whether it might be volunteering in the community, whether it might be helping with youth in the community, whether it might be helping with seniors in the community. Get involved with whatever your talent is today. And I promise you that that will keep you busy. There's enough talent that you can use in the community that will keep you busy. And all to the youth, make known that get involved with positive things. Show your talent. Show whatever your love is out there that you like doing or you like putting time in that's positive. Show your talent and get involved and stop the violence, please.
Stop the violence. Stop!
We shall overcome.
Young people, stop the violence.
La juventud es nuestro futuro.
Stop the violence and help kids around your school.
Get involved and stand up for yourself.
Don't be ashamed, don't hide it. Let it out.
Use your talents, please.
For something that is created and that you have been blessed with.
Use your talent.
Use them. Jenkins. Tommy was my brother. We just keeping people together, you know, things that he would do, bringing everybody together for a cause, and that's to keep his memory alive and let people know that we still aware and we still know that it's crime out there, you know. But that don't stop life from going on, you know. We want to let you know that we know it happens, but we want to find who did it, and also with finding who did it, represent his life, you know, his memory, you know, make his legacy grow, you know, for his son, you know, because a lot of people pass and it just go on, but we're gonna keep this going, you know, throughout life, every day, every year, you know, until we find who did it, and we still gonna keep it going after that. You know? So right now, we're just gonna keep it growing. It's a good, decent crowd, as you can see, but we want to grow further than this, man, further than this. You know?
Stop the violence. Use your talents.
Senseless violence is not the way to go, but one thing you have to understand is we all have to give account. At the end of the day, you all have to give account. And one thing you want to know about us is we keep moving, man. We're going to keep loving, and we're going to keep loving whoever did it. You just got to understand that at a time, it's going to be a time and place for everything. You know, violence is just violence, you know, but we're going to continue to love and love everybody in the community.
We want to make you aware that violence is not the way, that if you have any type of talents, you have anything else that you can do that will cause you to stay out of trouble, that will cause you not to do things like this is not the way, and this is what shouldn't be done. And I really would appreciate if anyone would come forth with any information. They would come forth and tell someone and let someone know if they've heard anything, if they've seen anything, if they've known anything. And we would appreciate all the help that we can get, and we're thankful for all the family members, all the support, all of the family friends that came forth to show that they loved him and that they were sorrowful for what happened. And we know this is happening to other family members, and it's happening all across the world. But until it happens to you, you really don't know how it feels.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
One of the most beautiful things in life is to be able to spend time with your loved ones. I lost a brother due to violence. Working as a musician, using his talent. Stop the violence and use your talent.
Use your talents, y'all.
Let this be your anthem.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show. This is your host, GERNADO. I hope that you've been enjoying the show. This is our new season, and through our new season of growth, we want to make sure and make you aware that there are a lot of things that are going to be coming up. We have the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents tour. We're going to be going to different cities. We're also going to be expanding the television show. If you want to be involved, please log on to our website at www.stoptheviolenceuseyourtalents.com, or you can just put in the acronyms, which is STVUIT.com.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
The shirt right here represents my brother, Tommy Jenkins. He died, like I said, he was murdered, victim of this crime. And we just, you know, represent for him and living life for him. You know, he died in a senseless act, but that's my brother. That was my love, that was my heart. You know, we a year and a day apart like twins, you know, and he meant a lot to me and my family. I was yin, he was yang, you know, it's like I was the good guy, he was the bad guy, but we loved each other. We did everything together, played football together, baseball together. He was better than me in basketball, we played that together. But, you know, growing up, it was all love. My mama raised us with my uncles, you know, and it was all love growing up together.
Stop the violence. Use your talents.
There are some times that I I think about my son and I cry, but there are some times that I think about him and I smile because I had some enjoyable times. My son was able for the last year or so to do we did a lot of traveling together. My son was able to sit down and talk with me and make amends with me, and he spoke to me and he told me that he loved me, and if there was anything that he had did or to hurt me in any way, and for all the times that he didn't tell me that he loved me, he was sorry, and he was able to tell me that he enjoyed me being a mother, and I was the best mother he ever could have had, not only just for him and his brother, but for many of his friends. He thanked me for the many times that I allowed his friends to come over, spend the night, eat, play games, and we talked and we did positive things. But again, I want to say to you that it does hurt. I do have pain. I've always had a talent of working with the youth, and I've had a passion to work with youth all my life, even before my children were born. We always went to the ballpark. We shared families together at the ballpark, games. We worked concession stands. We volunteered. Even there were times during Christmas that my boys, when they were growing up, I always wanted them to see how others were without. We even shared going to the homeless shelter, Salvation Army, feeding others on holidays. And in return, I always was able to help other parents when their children were in trouble and encourage them and take them to court hearings, take them to see their children when they were in correctional facilities. And always there was a house full of kids at my house because my sons played football, baseball, basketball, and I always tried to be very positive around the youth and sharing good things with them, positive times. I always loved to see kids enjoy growing up and enjoying doing positive things. And at the same time, I always taught my boys to be positive and do positive things.
My brother, he was a real friendly person, man. He loved kids, and all he would do is take care of the kids of the community. It was like they were like his kids, you know. He did everything he could for them, and friends as well, you know. If you needed him, he was there for you. And right now, you can see with the support, everybody felt that. Everybody knew that he cared, you know. And that's one of the #1 things that my brother wanted people to know about him. And that's one of the things I would say about him. My brother, he was a real caring, good-hearted person. Love your people, man, because they love you. You have to most definitely understand that life goes every second, you know. We come and we go. And love them while they're here, you know. Love them while they're here. I love my brother while he was here. You know, it wasn't a day go by that we didn't tell each other we loved each other. So I just want people to love each other, man. Tell your family, friends, whoever, that you love them every day.
My scripture that carried me through was, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And at the same time, you can do all things through Christ that strengthen you, because without him, I couldn't have made it and wouldn't have made it. And without my family, my church, and my friends' support, I wouldn't have been able to make it.
Stop the violence.
We'll always love you. We'll always.
Hi, my name is Beverly McLean. I'm asking you to stop the violence and use your talents.
Stop the violence. Use your talents, y'all.
Let this be your anthem.
This is Angela Corey, State Attorney for the 4th Judicial Circuit, and you're watching Stop the Violence television show.
Hope that you've been enjoying the show. There's a lot of information that we will be showing in new shows. There's a lot of people that we will be interviewing. If you want to be on the show and expose your talents, or if you have information that you would like to share about a loved one that was lost, please do contact us. You can go online to stoptheviolenceuseyourtalents.com, or you can just put in the acronyms, which is STVUYT, www.stoptheviolence.com. We're also planning a tour for 2013. We're going to be going to other cities. Hey, Stop the Violence and Use Your Talents. It's a nonprofit corporation that's reaching out. We're reaching out to people like you.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Hey, use your talents.
Brain production.
Tommy Jenkins, I love you. Just give me one last time so I can hug you, kiss you, tell you how much we all miss you. Give me one last time so I can tell you what you did for me. You taught me how to be a better father to one last time. Wish we can play with Lex Luger, still be North Jack's cool. Just one last time. We found brotherhood at the park, and our father figure was Coach Clark. One last time. And tell Miss Jenkins that you love her. Tell Stevie still got brothers. One last time. To help Luke with his homework. Tell him that you had to go home first. One last time. My heart heavy and my head hurt. I understand though this God's word. One last time. For me to see that smile on your face and to tell you you'll never be replaced. One last time. So I can hug you, kiss you, tell you how much we miss you. And one last time. So I can tell you what you did for me. You taught me how to be a better father. One last time. So I can hug you, kiss you, not your face on these pills. Give me one last time. So I can tell you what you did for me. You taught me how to be a better father. One last time. So I can vibe with you all day. Go to First Coast and walk the hallway. One last time. So we can chill and laugh. Miss Jenkins gotta cook us some crab. One last time. To say goodbye to family and friends. And see LaDarren when he have twins. One last time. But like Nemo, Bruce Chip, CT, Mr. All wanna see T. Lee. One last time. To see your face in the place and tell you God makes no mistakes. Give me one last time. They never place nothing above you. You're gone, but you're still my brother. I need one last time so I can hug you, kiss you, tell you how much we miss you. Give me one last time so I can tell you what you did for me. You taught me how to be a better father to one last time so I can hug you, kiss you, not your face on these pills. Give me one last time so I can tell you what you did for me. You taught me how to be a better father to one last time. R.I.P. T. Lee. That's coming from Duval County. Miss Jenkins, I love you. The whole family, I love you. T. Lee, I just wish I could see you one last time. Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Hello, I'm Sheriff John Rutherford, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Stop the Violence show.
Stop the violence.
This is Rhonda Peoples-Waters. I'm a local attorney.
I'm Ann Duggar, Executive Director of the Justice Coalition.
You can become anything that you desire to be.
You've still got a choice to make. That choice is, don't do it.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Use what God has given you, your talent.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
You know, the Justice Coalition offers many rewards for many unsolved crimes. Most of those are murder. And you know, it really doesn't take money to make the right choice. There's many people out there that has that little piece of puzzle that could be put together that a crime could be solved today. You don't have to be silent. You don't have to feel like that you're snitching. It's doing the right thing. It's doing the right thing to help this family be able to go on with their life after a loved one has been gunned down and taken. You can do something about it. What did you hear? Those little pieces that you know that you've got, that you could turn over to Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or even call Crime Stoppers. You could call 630-0500. Let them know what you know to help solve another crime. It is community involvement that will be the key to making Jacksonville a safer place to live. Get involved. Do your part.
To young people, to really our entire community, we have to understand that there are going to be circumstances that are beyond our control, whether you're a single parent, whether you've been a person that has gone the wrong way or the wrong path and maybe have had some trouble with the law and you're trying to walk the correct path now. Whatever it is, we need to understand that hard work always prevails, that if you work hard, and I always ask that you get an education or get some type of skill, and those things will continue to help you to stay on the right path. So I always talk about perseverance, and that's what I think is so important for us to keep in mind.
We've got a newspaper that we call the Victim's Advocate. The Victim's Advocate features unsolved murders, missing persons, and also it has where we have our shame, 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 and that is where there's so many drug-infested areas where prostitution and johns are out on the sides of the roads, and crime from the drugs have infested the neighborhoods so that children can't go out and play. So that paper not only features the wanted fugitives, missing persons, and unsolved murders, but since we've gotten the organization started over 17 years ago, we've had over 2,000 of those fugitives caught. We've had over 170 missing persons located. Phenomenal results from such a small organization.
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Why me?
Why me?
Why me? Why me?
Why me? Why me? Why shoot me?
Stop the violence. Use your talents. Respect is what respect does.
It doesn't matter how many times you fall, it's how you get up that counts.
As to my own personal talents and sharing that with our immediate youth, I have 2 young people who are high school students that work in my office pretty much on a daily basis to help us to practice law every day. No one in my family has been murdered, but I certainly have represented many persons that have been involved in violence. And I personally was the victim of a violence just a couple of months ago. My home was burglarized, and I understand the impact of that. My daughter is still afraid to sleep in her bedroom, and she's 10 years old. It was a huge violation of our privacy. The home was ransacked and things were taken. I think that people need to be accountable for their actions. Parents, I urge you to teach your children right from wrong and hold them accountable and watch what their actions are. We need to certainly be responsible for our young people and encourage them to do the right thing. And I think that it impacts our entire community when we step up as parents. I can, first of all, share with you one of the greatest accomplishments that I definitely record. And this was some of my work with the Perkins Bar. You can see here that the Times-Union did this article, Seeking Thousands Who Can Vote Anew. And what we did was we had several persons who have had their civil rights taken away from them. And we work with them so that they can have those civil rights restored. And the reason that that's important is now that these persons have been released from prison or wherever their stay was, they can come back into society and contribute. They can contribute, they can be business owners, they have the right to vote, and those are things that are extremely important in instilling their manhood and womanhood so that they can continue to be an asset to society. And we also have a picture here of myself with Jennifer Carroll. And I certainly respect Jennifer Carroll. She was present with us at an event that the NAACP and my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, sponsored. And we wanted to highlight her and recognize her for the hard work that she has given and contributed to this society.
I got a phone call from the FBI telling me that I was the recipient of the Director's Community Leadership Award. And in that award, it was for not only here in Jacksonville, but they sent me to Washington, D.C. to meet with the director of the FBI for what Justice Coalition does, because we're here striving to make Jacksonville and the First Coast a safer place to live. So it's not only about the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, it's not about these awards that we receive for the Justice Coalition. It's about getting involved. It's about making a difference. What can we do personally to do our part in making our community, our city, our state a safer place to live?
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Hi, I'm Matt Shirk, Public Defender.
I'm State Attorney Angela Corey.
In Florida, persons with past felony convictions lose their civil rights.
I want to encourage you to stop the violence and use your talent. Because if you don't, and you commit a crime, a felony, there are several rights that you will lose.
These rights include the right to vote, the right to sit on a jury, and the right to hold a public office.
We're talking about your constitutional rights.
So I would encourage all of you, stop the violence, use your talent.
It's your rights. Do you know what you're risking?
If you don't stop the violence, is it worth it to lose those rights?
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Your rights.
Use your talent, y'all.
Let this be your anthem.
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent, y'all. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent, y'all. Stop the violence.